Hello. Looks like we've already got some spoilers for Lorcana's next set, Rise of the Floodborn. Let's go ahead and take a look at what we're getting. We've got Belle, Hidden Archer, a 5-cost 3/3 that quests for 3. She has the shift ability for 3. We can pay 3 instead of 5 to put her on top of another Belle that we have in play. And she has the ability Thorny Arrows. Whenever this character is challenged, the challenging character's player discards all cards in their hand. That's an insanely strong ability, a high questing character, and a very cheap shift cost. I expect Belle to be a major player for Emerald in the next set. Belle Hidden Archer is going to raise the stock of Smash because it's going to be so important to be able to answer her without challenging her. Currently, Emerald has a lot of strong cards that can't be inked, like Cusco, and Belle is competing at that same ink cost as yet another 5-cost card that you want to play, but can't be inked and might end up just sitting in your hand. We've got Cinderella Stout-Hearted, a 7-cost 5/5 that quests for 3 and has shift 5, so we can play her on top of another Cinderella. We have a new ability, Resist +2, so she takes 2 less damage whenever she takes damage. That would include being challenged or being dealt damage by an effect like Smash. She has the ability, the Singing Sword. Whenever you play a song, this character may challenge ready characters this turn. That's a really strong ability for controlling the board in a way that we haven't had access to before. I think Cinderella can be a big player on the top end of steel-based mid-range decks. Those decks are already looking to play Grab Your Sword and possibly A Whole New World, but she may be missing a low-cost good song to play with her. Next we have Dinner Bell, a 4-cost uninkable item with the ability You Know What Happens. You can spend 2 ink and exert Dinner Bell, draw cards equal to the damage on chosen character of yours, and then banish them. I'm thinking a best case scenario in Ruby would be to attack with a Maui, and maybe he's got 3 or 4 damage on him now, and you can banish him to draw those cards, and then do that again on another turn. But your Maui was probably going to trade with another card anyway. It is really important to note that now Ruby has access to card draw, but I think we'll see this one end up being too expensive for the effect. We have Elsa, Gloves Off, a 4-cost 3/4 that is inkable, quests for 1, and has Challenger 3. These are decent stats for controlling the board in Ruby Amethyst control, and importantly, Elsa, Spirit of Winter, can be shifted on top of her. I don't think she does as much as Elsa Snow Queen for the deck though. Next we have Gaston, Intellectual Powerhouse, a 6-cost uninkable 4/4 that quests for 3. He has the shift ability for 4, and he has the ability Developed Brain. When you play this character, look at the top 3 cards of your deck. You may put 1 into your hand, put the rest on the bottom of your deck in any order. This is a really strong quester that replaces himself when you play him. I could see him being good if we have a cheaper Gaston to go with him. Next we have Merlin, Shapeshifter, 4-cost inkable 1/5. He has the ability Battle of Wits. Whenever one of your other characters is returned to your hand from play, this character gets +1 lore this turn. Merlin hints that we could see more cards like Befuddle. He could be good if he triggers off of cards like Mickey Mouse, Wayward Sorcerer, returning a broom to your hand from your discard pile after it's been banished, but I don't think that he does because he specifies return to your hand from play. I believe in play references the field being differentiated from cards in your discard pile. We'll need more support cards for Merlin, and in general, spending ink to return one of your own cards to your hand just to give Merlin a temporary lore boost doesn't seem worth it yet. Next we have Mickey Mouse, Friendly Face, a 6-cost inkable 1/6 that quests for 3. He has the ability Glad You're Here. Whenever this character quests, you may pay 3 less ink for the next character you play this turn. That ability is pretty strong acceleration for Amber. If you get to quest with him, it's like you paid 3 ink for a 1/6 that quests for 3. And if you're able to protect him with a strong bodyguard and use the ability again, it just gets better from there. However, Amber has a lot of really strong cards already. This Mickey Mouse competes with some of the strongest cards in the game. I'm not sure he makes the cut, but I do like the idea of playing Maleficent Monstrous Dragon on turn 7. Next we have Raya, Warrior of Commandra, a 4-cost inkable 5/3 that quests for 1, just another variation of the vanilla stat line. We have the Queen, Commanding Presence, a 5-cost inkable 4/3 that quests for 2. She has the shift ability for 2, and the ability Who's the Fairest. Whenever this character quests, chosen opposing character gets -4 power this turn, and chosen character gets +4 power this turn. Shift 2 is really strong for this stat line. We don't have any 1-cost queens yet, but maybe we'll get one with this set to pair with her. Her ability does let us win the board if our opponent thinks that they can quest to race us. We have the Sorcerer's Spellbook, 3-cost uninkable item with the ability Knowledge. Exert itself and pay 1 ink to gain 1 lore. This is the strongest, least interactive way to gain lore in the game so far. I think this card breaks the Ruby Amethyst control mirror match, where both decks are just full of removal spells. The Sorcerer's Spellbook practically guarantees that you'll win before you run out of cards. But being uninkable is a real cost, and the card won't be nearly as good in any kind of aggressive matchup. We have Tiana, Celebrating Princess, a 4-cost uninkable 1/4 that quests for 2. She has the new ability Resist 2, meaning she takes 2 less damage from any source, whether that's in a challenge or from a spell like Smash. And she has the ability, What you give is what you get. While this character is exerted and you have no cards in hand, opponents can't play actions. While her resist ability makes her already strong against damage-based removal from that color, her other ability can protect her from any of Ruby or Sapphire's action-based removal. I can see this being good against Ruby Amethyst control, but she still gets banished by Maui, so I'm not sure she makes the cut. Here we've got Winnie the Pooh, Honey Wizard, a 5-cost inkable 5/5 that quests for 2. I'm thinking he wins the best art in the set. This is gorgeous. Some vanilla cards currently do see play, like Cerberus. Being a 5-cost that can sing 5-cost cards can be relevant, and he hits my important benchmark of trading with Maui. Without any abilities, he doesn't seem that exciting, but he might just have all the right stats in all the right places. We've got Zero to Hero, a 2-cost uninkable song. It reads, count the number of characters you have in play. You may pay that amount less for the next character you play this turn. So if you have 3 characters in play, the next character you play will cost 3 less. Being a song makes this card a lot more interesting because Amber has Ariel, Spectacular Singer, to find it. I could see this in a Miracle Stitch deck, singing to get a Stitch into play for free and then playing the rest of your hand out while keeping it full with Stitch. I would rather play this than Just in Time, but we need a stronger suite of aggressive threats to really benefit from this effect. And that's all we got so far. Thanks for watching.